Hi, it's Ingrid. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to bookmas. Today I will be doing a little recommendations video. I'll give you some book recs for when you're in a slump. This year has been really hard for me, reading wise. It's my best reading year yet, but I've also had some of the worst reading slumps I've ever had. I'm always struggling. In September I read 3 books. In October I read 3 books. November was good, and now it's December 8th and I haven't read a single book this month. And I think thinking about these books is going to help me get out of my reading slump. These are books that have helped me, and I'm just going to talk about them. Some of these are 5-star reads, books I've really loved. Others are books that weren't 5-star reads, but I really felt like they were helping me during reading slumps. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to start with romance. I have quite a selection here. I'm going to start with the basics, the ones that everyone's going to say. They're very popular for a reason, because I think they are great. I have to mention Emily Henry. When I first started reading, Emily Henry was one of the authors I heard the most about. It took me a really long time to read any of her books, actually. I bought Book Lovers and Beach Read pretty early on in my reading journey. I just didn't read them because of the way people have talked about them. I was so intimidated, and I honestly thought that I wouldn't like it as much as everyone said I would. Then I picked up Beach Read and I fell in love. I tabbed this one like last month or the month before or something. I started flipping through my annotations and it made me want to reread. I've never been a rereader. I think I've only reread 2 books in my life. That's a lie. I think I might have reread Harry Potter at some point. I don't remember. I'm not a rereader, but flipping through them made me want to read this again. It's so good. Beach Read is about 2 authors who's writing different genres. They kind of have this rivalry going on. They make this agreement that they're gonna write the other person's genre, and they're taking each other on these little excursions to research for their writing. I feel like these books are very heartfelt. They are romance books, they definitely are, but there is a bit of like women's fiction in it. We're really focusing on the FMC's journey and development as a person, and I really love that. I think the way that Emily Henry writes her characters are so good. You really connect to the characters in a way you won't in any other author's work. And I love a lot of authors. I'm not even sure Emily Henry is my favorite author. I just think she's so great at what she does that you just get sucked into the story. There's some amazing quotes in here. I'm not going to read them to you. I think you should just experience them for yourself. Flipping through just makes me want to pick it up. This is my favorite of her books. I've read 3 of them. This one and Book Lovers I really loved. And if you're in a slump, it's definitely going to help. Another one of the obvious authors are Abby Jimenez. I brought Yours Truly to show you because I think that's my favorite. I've only read the Part of Your World series by her. Book 1 in that series, Part of Your World, wasn't my favorite. I enjoyed it, but I was a little annoyed by the FMC in that. But Yours Truly, oh my god, I fell in love. The MMC in this book is struggling with anxiety, and I saw myself in him so much. The way their interactions started, the beginning of their relationship, them getting to know each other, it's so me. And he's adorable. In this one, they're both doctors, and they're working in the same hospital. Our FMC is a little mad at our MMC because they have a bad first impression. But then they start getting to know each other, and it's absolutely wonderful. This is also a very heartfelt book. There's always something deeper in Abby Jimenez's books. In this one, the FMC's brother is sick, and he needs a donor to donate a kidney. The MMC turns out being the perfect match. So they're connected in many ways. This is, I think, my favorite. I really enjoyed Just for the Summer as well. They're so easy to read and they're so addictive. Bingeable, perfect if you're in a slump. Another one of the authors that I think I will consider a favorite author. If I pick up one of her books, I just know I'm gonna love it, and that is Lynn Painter. I've brought two of my favorites. Honestly, I want to mention Betting on You as well, but I don't have a physical copy of that. That book, amazing. These two are written by Lynn Painter, obviously. They're different. This is a YA romance, this is an adult romance, and I think she does them both amazingly. Better Than the Movies is probably her most famous book. This is about two teenagers who also have this rivalry. Clearly, that's something I enjoy. They're rivals, always have been. They grew up together, they're neighbors. Our FMC has a crush on this guy, who's friends with our MMC. I'm gonna use their names, Liz and Wes. Liz is our FMC, Wes is our MMC. So Liz has this crush on this guy named Michael. Wes is friends with that guy, so they start hanging out, and he's like helping her to get with Michael. But then obviously, this is a romance book, so it's our main characters that are gonna fall in love. It's the perfect teenage love story. I'm so in love with this. This is also very bingeable, which is exactly what you need when you're in a slump. So I definitely would pick this up. The Love Wager is the second book in a series, technically. The first one is Mr. Wrong Number. I loved both of them, but I think this is my favorite. In this book, our main characters meet, and then they go their separate ways, and then they run into each other again. They decide to be like each other's wing person. They schedule their dates to be at the same place at the same time, so if it doesn't end well, if it doesn't turn out to be the connection they want, they can hang out afterwards and it won't be a wasted day. And they have this love wager to see who can find love first. Then they have to fake date, and you know what happens. Every time there's fake dating, lines get blurred, things develop, feelings get to the front. I loved this one. One of the things that I liked the most about this was the way the conflict was handled. I remember reading this and just thinking, oh my god, I love this. I feel like they're always overreacting and misunderstanding, and the miscommunication is just so awful. In this one, they communicated very well, and I appreciate that. Lynn Painter's writing is so easy. I'm not a native English speaker, you can probably tell. I'm Norwegian, and I have no problem reading this. I don't think I have any problem reading anything, but this is just, it flows so well for me. This is the perfect book to read. I want to reread this as well. I'm not a rereader, I'm not going to reread them. I might. I shouldn't. I have too many books in my physical TBR, but I am slumping a little, so maybe I should try to reread some of these. I feel like a lot of these are very popular, so you've probably heard of these books before, but just know that these are books that should be picked up when you're in a slump. Wild Love by Elsie Silver. Everyone's always talking about Chestnut Springs when they're talking about Elsie Silver. What about some attention to the Rose Hill series? It's so much better. I really enjoy the Chestnut Springs series, but Chestnut Springs got nothing on this. Rose Hill, perfection. I've loved every single book in the series. I think the first one's my favorite. This is a little bit of a thicker romance, but it just flows by so quickly. I am in love. In this one, we meet Ford Grant, who's a music producer. What's her FMC's name? Rosie. She moves into town. She's the sister of Ford's best friend. She needs a job. She gets hired by Ford, and the romance is beautiful. A twist to the series is that every single book follows a single father. In this one, Ford doesn't know that he's that until a child shows up at his door and is like, I think you're my father. And Rosie's helping him with that. This is another one of those books where the conflict was just handled really well. I think they were so mature about it, and that's very refreshing to read, because I feel like they're always so childish. Like, talk it out. At least hear each other out before you make a decision, and this was perfect. I don't want to say too much, because I don't want to spoil things. I go in pretty blind to most books, and I love that. Juniper Hill by Devney Perry. One of my favorite books I've read this year. I read Indigo Ridge, which is the first book in this series, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite. I thought I was just gonna love it a lot more than I did. I just didn't. I wasn't really expecting much from this because of the way I felt with the first one, but I fell in love. This is a single mom who moves to this place, ends up renting from RMMC, and she's working at the family's hotel. I think it's a hotel. I don't really remember. But anyways, It's an inn. Is that the same as an hotel? I don't really know. This is just so cute. The MMC in this is definitely a grump, but he's doing it, he's like being a grump in the protecting himself way, not in that I actually want to be rude to people way. Like, everyone loves him, and it was just so cute. This one made me cry. I was not expecting that. So emotional reading this. I obviously have not experienced the things that Memphis does in this book, but for some reason I felt such a deep connection to this book. The feel of this book, obviously if you're American you're gonna have different editions. The UK books just feels perfect. I love it. And they're bingeable, they're addictive, they're good, they're entertaining, and they're emotional, which is perfect. I love it. I really need to continue that series. Maybe that's what I should do. I have the next in the series. Maybe that's what I need to get out of my slump right now. It could be. Next books I'm going to talk about is a series, and that is the Bridgerton series. I love the Netflix show, and I love the books. I don't think all the books are equally good. I think they're all good, but these two are definitely the best. The Viscount Who Loved Me and When He Was Wicked, Anthony's story, and Francesca's story. These are Regency-era romance novels following the Bridgerton family. Each book is for one of the siblings and their love story out in society, trying to find the love of their life. And I'm always worried going into this because they're kind of like historical fiction. They're Regency, they're older. You can tell in the writing, but it's also very easy to read. Like, it's very straightforward while also having that Regency feel to it. And I think that's kind of refreshing because it's something new. The stories, so good. The characters always have these struggles, emotional turmoil that we're dealing with, and I love it. I've read this physically, and I listened to this on audio. Both are perfect. The audiobook of this book, oh my god, it's good. It's so good, it's so good, it's so good. Putting this audiobook on while doing anything, perfect. I didn't think I was an audiobook person, but I found myself wanting to clean, wanting to do other things just so I could listen to the book, because that's how good they are. I could just sit on my couch, just staring at the wall, listening to this because it's so good. And that makes me also want to pick up more books, because the more I read, the more I want to read. So these, if you want a little bit of a different feel than the normal contemporary romance, these are good. The last romance I have on my recommendations for now is a book I actually didn't love, The Spanish Love Deception. I don't think it's that great of a book, actually. I think I ended up giving it 3.75 stars for the vibes. In the beginning, I absolutely hated it. I thought it was awful. But then I just kept listening to it. I was listening to the audiobook and couldn't put it down. I think I have kind of an addiction to this book. Like, I was feeling like the book was bad. It's written so badly, but I just couldn't stop. This is like the fast food of the books. You know it's bad, but you can't stop. I keep repeating myself, but like, this was genuinely so addictive. And that's exactly what you need when you're in a slump. In this one, they're fake dating. The girl, Catalina, tells her family that she has a boyfriend and that she's going to bring the boyfriend to her sister's wedding. And she's working with this guy whose name is Aaron Blackford. And Mr. Aaron Blackford is kind of rude. According to Catalina, there have been some misunderstandings because of different reasons, and they have to fake date. And who doesn't love some fake dating when they're going to a different country, having to share a bedroom, pretending to be in love with each other? Like I said, for the other fake dating books, lines get blurred, and it's perfect. And I would really recommend the audiobook. If you get into this and you think, oh my god, this is bad, keep going. It's gonna get you out of your slump. Should we do mystery or fantasy? I want to do fantasy because this is one of my favorite reads of the year. This Wolfen Kingdom by Tahereh Mafi is the first book in a series. There's currently 4 books out. I've read 3 of them. I read 3 of them in the past few months. Actually, I read this a while ago, I think. I love this one. This one follows this girl who's a djinn, and she's got these magic powers that she has to hide. She's working as a maid for these people. One day she runs into the prince, and the story definitely develops. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil. I think everything that happens is a spoiler. I can say that she's the heir to a secret Jinn kingdom, and there's a prophecy that makes things a little hard for everyone involved. But this is a book that made me want to read more romantasy. It is a romantasy. This gives the same feeling as reading as a child, when you're reading at night and you're hiding under the covers, not wanting anyone to know that you're still up. Same thing. I was so obsessed. The yearning in this book, oh my god, perfection. Loved it. This one was a 5-star. The next, second book in the series, I think was like a 4.5 or something. Third book was a 5-star. I still have the fourth book to listen to. I don't have the physical copy. I read this one physically, and then I listened to book 2 and 3. Both were amazing experiences, both reading it physically and listening. I kind of want to read the fourth one physically, but I also don't want to buy it right now because it's only published in like the taller paperbacks. But I need to know how the story continues. Oh my god, things have changed. Characters are being shown in different ways. We're getting to know people. We're getting to know the story, the places, the countries, the wars. Oh my god, I love it. It's so perfect. Then I've got City of Ashes right here. This is the second book in the Mortal Instruments series. I've read book 1 and 2, City of Bones and City of Ashes, and they're so bingeable. I've never binged a book in the way I've read these. This one follows Clary, who's a girl who suddenly finds out she can see things that other people can't. She is, in fact, a shadow hunter. She didn't know that. She grew up not knowing anything about that world, but then she gets drawn into it. There's experiences. Her mother's missing. She meets these other shadow hunters, gets taken to where they live, and I don't want to say they're going on adventures, because that's not what it is. Like, you know, in Percy Jackson, when they're going on quests, on adventures, it's not that kind of thing. They're forced to do it because things are happening in their lives. And it's so perfect. There's romances in here. There's familiar relationships, friendships. Perfect. I've got 3 more books to talk about. Mystery, thriller. This is gonna be fun. Should I start with the one that I think is the most popular? Let's do that. The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes is the first book in a 4-book series. It's a YA thriller mystery series following this group of naturals. They get recruited by the FBI to work cold cases because they have these natural abilities. The main character in this, Cassie, is a profiler, and she's got skills. She can see things that other people can't in like a natural way. Like, she's really good at picking up on clues from the way people present themselves, the way they're talking, everything. There's one that can read emotions, one that's really good with statistics, one who can tell lies, like tell when other people are lying and tell the lies herself. There's a love triangle in this series. There's a clear winner, and if you disagree, you're wrong. I think the last book is my favorite. My camera battery is flashing, so unfortunately I need to do this quickly. But this entire series, so good. It's bingeable. It's easy to read. The language in it, pretty good. I don't know. Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Finney is one of the first thrillers I read. Following this couple who wins this little getaway. They have some trouble in their marriage. Things start happening in this house they're staying in the middle of nowhere where there's no one around. And then there's another person involved, and there's just twists and turns at every point. I cannot really tell you anything because I feel like everything's going to be a spoiler. But I'm excited to talk about this one, The Thirsty Murder Club by Richard Osman, one of my favorite series of all time. It's currently a 5-book series. I read 4 of the books because, again, 5th book is published in like a bigger paperback, and I don't want that. This one follows a group of older people living in this retirement village. Every Thursday they get together to look at cold cases. It's kind of the same thing as the Naturals, just they don't have abilities, they're normal people. And they're older, and they're solving these cold cases, but then quickly get drawn into some really serious things. Gets friendly with some police officers, they start investigating. Elizabeth, who I would say is the main characters, there's 4 and 5, there's more. But anyways, Elizabeth is a former MI5 or MI6 agent, so she's got some experience, and I absolutely love it. I think this is my least favorite in the series, actually. I don't know which one's my favorite, but I think this is my least favorite. So if you don't like this book, I still think you should continue. The humor in these books is some of my favorite thing about it. It's just so sarcastic. and so dry, but they're old, and that makes it funny within the context. I don't want to read quotes to you right now because I feel like it's not funny unless you're in it. But I hope you enjoy this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. My camera's about to turn off. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, lovers.